So, hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra Kaye, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. And yes, we have a very, very special guest here, Tamara Johnson-Shealey. Of course, you guys have probably heard her name somewhere before, but we'll get a little bit more into that. She is here today to give us a brief update on the reparations movement that she has been pursuing for a very long time now. She will be at Howard University on Sunday, and she is going to, tell us what they're going to be doing, why it's important, and most importantly, why we should care and what we can do to help bring awareness to what's going on. Because as you guys know, as American descendants of slaves, we are still in pursuit of reparations basically since our ancestors left the plantation. And so there's a lot of movement going on, especially within the last, I'd say, 5 years or so. So we're going to hear all about it. Donovan, before I give it to Miss Shealey, what say you?
What say me is, guys, welcome back to the Demetra K podcast. Glad to have you guys here. Important stuff that we continue to talk about. As you guys know, what happened here in California in regards to the reparations bill. Our own people sabotaged that bill. Our own people. We couldn't even get a vote. So this goes to show and really goes back, Demetra, to us talking across the nation that we all have the same issues and the same problems. And as we individually fight and we come together, we're a force within ourselves. But do us a favor, you guys want to donate to keep these great conversations going. There's a way you can do it. There's a banner at the bottom, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, blah, blah, blah. Don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. As you guys remembered, Tamara Johnson-Shealey, she ran in Georgia against Ralph Warnock in the senatorial race, and she's been in politics for a very, very long time. We have a lot of people that are fighting, unbeknownst to a lot of us, behind the scenes or actually in elections, that are fighting for us that, you might not have heard about. And, the election is over and you think that they've gone away and they've gone back to their lives. You got a lot of people out here that are still fighting. Tamara Johnson-Shealey is one of those people. She has been in the fight. I have been kind of noticing and kind of keeping up with, where she's at and what she's doing. And she's still in the fight up there. And currently she is up there in Washington, D.C., in regards to the reparations. She has a thing called Reparations Sunday, and the info's at the bottom of her page. But Tamara Johnson-Shealey, welcome back to the program.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you guys for having me back. Thank you. Great to see both of you.
Absolutely. So go on and tell us what this is about in Washington. You'll be at Howard University. What is going on there?
Howard University. First, I want to say thank you to Howard University for giving us an opportunity to bring a Reparations Sunday event to the campus. It bridges the gap between this new young generation and the church. Reparations Sunday is an initiative where we are focused on bringing those of us who are believers, bringing the church. Because if you look back in our history, the church and the young people, that was the civil rights movement. So this is, we're just going back to the playbook of our elders, of how they move politically, and doing it all over again. So I'm just delighted and excited to be at Howard University, to be able to have the young people and the older people come together again in this fight for reparations. So Reparations Sunday is this coming Sunday at Howard University. And I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, Demetria, and the recovering Democrat. It's Super Bowl Sunday, but it's at 3:00. It's 3 o'clock. It's 3:00 on Sunday. We're hopeful to be out of there within like an hour and a half. So that gives everybody more than enough time. I think the game starts at the pregame is 6:30. So there's more than enough time for you to come and still be a part of what's happening at Howard University. So those in the DC area, please come out and support. This is an historic. I feel like we're making our own history at Howard University. So it'll be a great presentation. We're going to talk about what is happening with the reparations movement across the nation. We're going to talk about HR 40 and S40 that's been reintroduced. We're going to talk about the massacre of Ebenezer Creek. If you see behind me, there is a flyer in my background. We have a tour, Reparations Sunday, where you actually come and experience what happened. And most people don't even know the massacre of Ebenezer Creek led to why we had Special Field Order 15 and 40 acres and a mule. Most people don't know that story, that during Sherman's march to the sea, he was on his way and he had all these slaves following him, and they get to Ebenezer Creek, which is in Effingham County, Georgia, neighbors Chatham County, where Savannah is. Get to the creek, they build a pontoon bridge. They build a pontoon bridge for the Union Army to cross. But when the slaves tried to cross the bridge, they pulled the bridge. And not only did we drown in the creek, but we were massacred and slaughtered by the Confederates. And that was the outrage that led to the 20 pastors coming together in Savannah at the Green Meldrum House. And that is where Special Field Orders number 15 was actually signed. And that document was put in place, but eventually rescinded because we never got our 40 acres or our borrowed mule. And that is where it all came from. So to experience that is something that I think you would never forget. So again, that's what you see in my background. It's our tour for Reparations Sunday. Come down and join us. We have it February, May, July, and October. But going back to Sunday, again, Reparations Sunday, this is again where we're organizing, we're doing our work to address reparations that needs to be paid in this country.
So, and you're also going to be there with someone else. His name is Dr. Chad Lawson Cooper. So, and he's a filmmaker, from what I understand.
Yes, he is social justice advocate, filmmaker. Yes, he has it's a stage play about a civil rights attorney who sues the federal government for reparations, and that stage play brings in all of the movement, all of the different sects of the movement, like the ADOS, the Freedmen, the B1, the FBA. It brings all of our talking points and just kind of puts it together. But his initiative, this play is about gathering us and just giving the information. And it's a great, phenomenal stage play. So he'll be alongside me at Howard University. We actually did the play this past weekend at Howard. It was a packed house, great performance. And I actually was in the play as a stenographer, y'all. I'm not an actress, but I was in the play as a prop.
Well, I got a question in regards, you've been working on this reparations, and I think it's, like I said, we've got to keep our foot on the gas and keep going forward. But I'm over here in California, right? And I know you heard about what happened here in California. People don't understand how hard it is for a bill to go through all of these committees, get approved, and now it's time for a vote. And our own people that look like us, have brown skin just like us, would not bring their own bill to the floor. $5 million of taxpayer dollars was spent on a study that went through committee, went through financing, and all it needed was an up or down vote. What was your thought when you heard about what happened here in California, as somebody who's, basically in the reparations fight?
Hurt, disappointed, angry. I had all the emotions. Because that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work when you put that much time and energy and resources into getting a bill heard. It's a lot of work, and for your own people to sabotage you, it angered me. It angry.
Because one of the conclusions of the bill was, and what's crazy is, it's Black people in California are less than 6% and declining. Out of that 6%, half of them aren't lineage based. So it would have been cheaper to pay reparations to the people that are California residents and whatever than it was to deal with the migrants, the illegal migrants. That bill, according to what I read, would have given every FBA, let's just say FBA person, $1.2 million. There is nobody more homeless in California than Black women and children. But that would have given $1.2 million each. That's just California. And I've been saying on my program that if California's already done the study, if that's the blueprint, other states and municipalities could use that as a guideline for their reparations fight within their state. Well, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. And we introduced a bill in Georgia, and I actually co-wrote it and mirrored it after everything that California had done. It was like a mirror image of it, and we introduced it here, and it becomes a blueprint. Like you say, this is our opportunity. As this federal government becomes something very different, we're going to continue to fight on this federal level, because ultimately this is the job of the federal government to take care of this debt that is owed. But on a state level, we need to make sure we're pushing, and we need to continue to do the work, and things are going to look different. But I see, honestly, as this being our opportunity. The Democrats were in our way. They were literally in the way. And now that things are going to be very different, we won't have race-based politics. We won't have DEI and DEIA that's mixed into our justice claim. Like all this confusion, you've confused it and conflated it. It's just a mess. So honestly, I feel much better and I see more opportunity for us to get something done with this administration than we did the last.
And let me ask you, let me ask you this, because I am familiar with Ayanna Pressley and is Cory Booker. They're the ones that's actually going to reintroduce, if you will, I guess, HR 40. I'm one of those people. I'm just tired of studies. It's because it's like, come on, even on a basic level, we know what happened. We know why the debt is due. So what is your opinions on all of these studies that, people keep popping up with? It's like, do you think it's just like a smoke screen, or it's a stall tactic? Like, what's going on here?
It's over. That time is gone. John Conyers introduced that back in 1989. We're so beyond that now. We have data, we have information that we didn't have then. I respect the work that was done before us, but we're done with the study part. We're clear about who we are. We're clear about what needs to be done, and we need to go in and ask specifically for it. And HR 40 and S 40, both of them can be edited. So that is the ask, that we edit this and let's move forward. And here's the problem. Many of those who've been elected and, prior to this new administration, I just pray those bridges aren't burned to the ground, because they're not going to get anything done. So I'm just like, I'm more optimistic about working with somebody with an R behind their name than I am with somebody with a D.
And let me ask you this as well. And I'm sure you probably had this conversation. Do you think it'd be beneficial if we start to hear more about we as Black Americans, if we start practicing group economics more, unity, we'll start to move the reparations conversation into a more, I guess, more serious arena? Not that it's not serious, but now, because of the plight of Black people now in America, we're, the least in everything you could think of, right? So a lot of times politicians like, we're going to do a study, but they never do. Opposed to like the Asian community, they got a hate crime bill just like that. It was almost unanimous, right? And nobody had a problem with it. And that's probably because they're a little bit more, on the same page with everything. They move as a unit, whether they Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, whatever it is, they move. So when are we going to start to really start having that conversation? Marry that in with, we want reparations, but here's what we got to do as a unit to move it forward.
Yeah, it's here's what we are doing, and I'm even encouraged by that. I was actually on a Zoom about 2 weeks ago, and it was for this small little grant for a business. One person was going to get this small grant put towards their business, and when I tell you, it was probably upwards of 500, 600, 700 people vying for this one grant, and all of these Black people had businesses or business ideas. When I tell you we are ready, we're innovators, we're creators, we're ready. We just need a little injection. We need a little bit of money that'll give us the resources we need to start our business. I was on another interview, and a lady was talking about, Black people in our businesses, and I'm like, what if she just want to bake cookies, right? She just want to bake cookies. She need the money for the eggs, the sugar, the butter. She needs money for that. So we need to have this reparations injected into our communities. Give us what we need. We got it. We're ready to go. We're full of ideas.
I just want to follow up with this because there's a lot of confusion on what reparations is. One of the assembly member here in California is one of my assembly members that stopped the bill from coming to the floor, and his chief of staff, I call him or calls me, and we have a conversation, which he tries to deflect. But he said, well, Corey Jackson oh, well, he did the crown thing where you could go into the assembly. He calls himself the little Martin Luther King of the California Assembly, right? That's his nickname he gave himself. But he said that basically, well, the reparations bill had, Corey, where you can wear your ethnic clothing. And so the guy wears an African dashiki, and he does all kinds of stupid stuff. You could wear your hair a certain way. Oh, if you're Black, you could do this and that and this. A lot of people are confused about what reparations is, and correct me if I'm wrong. Reparations, from my understanding and definition of it, could be nothing more than a monetary payment, because giving me a program saying, well, reparation, we'll give Black people education for the next 20 years. All three of us have an education. You're denying me my reparations, so that ain't going to help me. Well, we'll give you a housing program. Well, if I have my own money, I could buy my own house. If I need an education, I could buy my own education. So from your understanding, could you just clear up, what is reparations?
Cut the check, Donovan. Cut the check. Quit playing. Quit playing. I just told you what it is. you just laid it out. We know exactly what it is. Give us what we need. Leave us alone. We know how to do this. We make $1 out of 15 cents. Come on. We know what to do. We're going to turn this whole country around. That's why I'm encouraged by this new administration, because they want to do business, and so do we. Let's go. Let's do business. Let's do it. Let's make America great. We are America first. Let's come on. I'm ready. We are ready.
Yes, indeed. So I know your time is limited and you just want to come on and give us an update. So tell us how, I guess they can go to reparationsunday.info to be a part of what's going on Sunday at Howard. And then you said the Ebenezer Creek, which you have the dates behind you. How will we find information for that?
Yes, everything is on the website. I do a Tuesday and Thursday Zoom, a reparations update, and then we do a lecture series on Thursdays. Go to the website. It's reparationsunday.info. The event, Reparations Sunday, where you can come and experience. You come to Atlanta. We get on a bus. We go down to South Georgia, and I'm gonna tell you, it is rural Georgia, but it's an experience that you need to experience. You need to know what our ancestors must have felt like back in the woods, because being on that creek, it's a whole experience. So yes, come out. We go to the Weeping Time site. Most people don't know that Savannah had the largest slave auction in the nation. It's called the Weeping Time. We go to that site. We go to Laurel Grove Cemetery. That's where our ancestors are buried. The graves are like 1800s. When I tell you it's an experience, it's going to get in your soul. It's going to get in your soul. And this fight will be, you'll feel like I feel, on fire. On fire. But yeah, everything is on the website, reparationsunday.info. I just ask that you support us. Definitely donate, because I'm telling you, this is heavy lifting. Being in DC is not cheap. Doing it the way we have to do it is not cheap. So we need all the support we can get. So please go to the website and donate.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And I plan on going to one of them. I ain't going to say which one I'm going to go to, but I'm going to go, because I love doing stuff like that. And I could not imagine not being a part of it. So I am going to plan on being there. So is it a 3-day weekend, or is it just?
So you come down on a Thursday, you get on the bus from Atlanta. So you fly into Atlanta, right? Look, I'm already giving you your itinerary. Flying to Atlanta, right? You get on the bus with us. The bus trip is about 3.5, 4 hours. We'll go down to South Georgia. It's on the edge of Chatham and Effingham County. It's near the Savannah airport. So if you want to fly in and don't get on the bus, you can do that and still be a part of the tour. It's a couple $100 cheaper if you just fly in directly to Savannah. And it's a 2-day experience. It's on a Friday and a Saturday. And if you're on the bus, we come back on Sunday morning. We stop at one of our Reparations Sunday churches, which is in Middle Georgia, to worship. And then we come on back. We're back in Atlanta by early afternoon. It's an amazing experience.
I cannot wait. So, all right, you guys, we're going to let her go so she can go about the fight of reparations there in Washington. And please come back and see us again with any updates that you have.
Yes, absolutely, updates. We need updates to keep you going. And again, you guys check out the website, www.reparationsunday.info. Sign up, donate, and like you said, this is our time. If we can't deal with a businessman who's always willing to make a deal, who can we deal with? I mean, it's just the way it is. This is our time. And I agree with you. If we miss this opportunity, it may never, ever come around again.
All right, y'all. So we're going to get out of here and we'll see y'all a little bit later on at 5 p.m. Central Time. Peace.